Oh, sorry. Okay. My healing journey. Start part two again. Journey to self healing. It began with a start and ended with a finish. I got to you got put yourself in my shoes. They hurt and were very painful. My husband at that time had been abusive to me for 20 plus years. The second time he hit me with a wet towel, adult sized towel, when I caught him cheating yet again. And he was the scary kind of man. I rejected. I said I hated him. I know I did that, but he snapped a wet towel in my face. As you would to football player, like they snap it on their hiney. He snapped it on my face. That was my second abuse of him. It wasn't out of friendship or honor, but pure meanness and violence. He had cheated again, once again. Remember that he, he took my self esteem. There was no confidence at all. I mean, he has chosen uh, others over me, and I knew it. It was he was doing this again to me. I didn't understand he was doing this to himself. My life was very lonely. And well, if I could get the pages turned again. And incomplete. And I didn't cheat on him. This time, the stress made very bad choices to himself and his family. My daughters grew up with a violent man who hid it for shame of it. He managed to turn my family on me. They didn't know why I was so stressed then and not able to cope well. Our first abuse was for uh, our first house was free, and he didn't pay rent yet to keep me confused and guessing at first. The attacks were far between, and at the end, it became daily abuse. He would cheat on me because I would bring it up. $50,000 he made at the rent free house. And yet, from my mom and stepdad, I had to take money because he said we didn't have much. Some sure, but I did find a picture on my camera. He was with another woman taking pictures on his SIM card camera. It had a woman and a child being with her mom at the beach in their house. But pictures of her in school with a certificate. It was on our camera SIM card. Bingo. That's why we barely made enough money. And who had, I would be of her inappropriate. $1,000 go. He blamed like a narc on me. He didn't know I knew about the picture. See, the same time he went on a week-long vacation, supposedly from his work, and all he brought back was a T-shirt, and he ate there. So he said, spending $500 on company card, he had to pay back. No, they would have. No, they would have bought his word. And real people on his found out he had to look at work. So that lookout lost his job and killed himself. When I brought him killing himself, his eyes and body tone went cold. Pupils dilated. Some, I think, instead of a work vacation, I think it was the other family vacation and not work. He never took, and when he took Alicia to the beach, and then Alicia and Rose. Yet I should have known, should have not gone. He spent his whole time on the phone when we were at the beach. I had dealt with this porn addiction and cheating so long. I knew he was cheating then too. He gave me the excuse that I forgot what I'm forget what I'm saying. I have memory problems too, most likely from the um, most likely from my migraines or dealing with him with my abuse. Johnson Controls was the second place he got fired from. I don't know much about the first, except later on I found a picture of himself hidden with a hillbilly couple from his job. It made me wonder why he had to hide it. What was he doing with them? Was he swinging with them too? Because he said he was a swinger on his computer. And I didn't find out till after I was divorced that he was swinging on me the whole time without me being in that revolving door. I had no part of it, but he made it look like I did. And he did that with my picture. He took a picture of me and put a body on it that was not mine. I got a phone call from someone who had seen that picture on, online of what was allegedly me, which it wasn't, but he put my face on it. And I got a phone call from this guy who had been in prison for, or in jail, prison or jail. And I told him that he wasn't talking to me, that he had been talking to a guy, my husband. And the guy, no. But I had no self esteem like a woman who's getting blamed by a narc. I had nowhere to go, and I knew no skills. What skills I learned, I taught myself, and that's arts and crafts. But this is bad. It's really bad. He called me and he wanted to do inappropriate stuff with me that my husband at the time, was saying that he did or that I made him do. Instead of it being him that was doing the porn, he pointed it to me. That's why he used my name up on sites, my first and my middle name, and pretended to be me with other men and women. And I'm sick and tired of hiding my secret and my hell from everyone and anyone. I'm just sick and tired of it. I have a voice and I can use it. This is hard for me because I took the blame for so long that he had it in my head that it was my fault somehow. That's what narcs do. They twist you up so bad that you don't know which end is up or down. And then you start acting off a bit because of what's going on. He putting me and my kids in danger again. This man was corrupt. He was deplorable, but yet he stood out to the public as a w5k man. Don't they all? Or some of them just are violent and don't care. But he made sure to not leave a mark. He learned how in his addiction not to leave a mark on me, except the mark of a sprained neck. I have 2 titanium plates in my neck now. Could it be that he caused that? I'm not sure. But I know he did choke me a lot. And he got on top of me and choked me. And that's the worst position for anyone to suffer. One day he pushed me down. I fell to the ground. He covered up my mouth because I was screaming. And I couldn't breathe because he covered up my nose too. And it was a nightmare. And so I finally got free. And I left and took my daughter. But first, he held her hostage. And then I took my daughter and I went to my mother's for a while. People say, why don't you leave? Well, if you're married to a narcissist or a narc, everybody knows why you don't leave. That's when you get killed for real. So why didn't I leave? Because I knew he would kill me. I knew that he would make sure that I suffered a fate worse than death if I stayed alive. The man I married was not the charismatic man he pretended to be, that I made him look good as, but he was a monster, an evil, probably demonic monster. Because every time he got to walk into a room at my house, eventually I felt an evil presence that was just, I felt his negativity, his energy that was so, yeah, to live in hell was, it may have looked like Mr. Rogers, or I may have looked like the bad person. But the only thing is that I let it get to me, and I let it bother me, and I let it control me and consume me. And I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know. In all those 20 something years, I didn't know how I could honestly get out of it. Even if you got help from the um, the people who were with the shelters, you're the one that got thrown out of the house. The man got to stay in the house. If you went to a shelter, that's no way for a woman who's abused to live. We should have nice places for these women to go so they can take care of their family. Homes for them. You've heard of the Homes for Habitat of Humanity. Maybe we should have homes for women of domestic violence and get them out of there and relocate them to where the guy will never find them again. Where I wish that was in my situation. I can dream about it, and one day it may happen. Maybe I can start that dream. I don't know. But I'm getting it out there. And my dream is that one day when a woman is being abused, she won't be forced out of her home and her comfort and go with a bunch of other women who are both all stressed out at the same time, who don't know how to cope and deal with this because no one else does either. You get blamed, and you get blamed so much, you begin to think it's your fault. But no, I overcame that in the end. But there's a lot more to tell between the end and now. I was a woman who was abused, and that changed me personally. I became a broken spirit. I'm just now climbing out of that hole that he put me in. And I will make it to the top. And that's what I'll do. I'll survive, and I'll carry on no matter what happens. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. My name is Blue Sapphire Frost, or at least that's what I go by. And I was abused at the hands of my ex-husband, who I was married to for 30 years almost. And he took everything from me. Everything. I didn't get a dime. And that's the way it is with most women. They get pushed aside. They don't get the money. You think they do, but they don't. A lot of these women who are abused and go to shelters, do you think they've got money to do anything with? No, and the men like to control the women. Whether it's you stay at home and cook and clean, or you've got to go to work, you don't have a choice. Because I've got an addiction so bad that you have to pay for that too. Stealing money from me that my father gave me to pay for his addiction, and then blaming me and saying it was me calling my family out of state. I knew better, but I didn't know how to leave. And I knew if I did, he would try to kill me. And one day, my mom and I went over and heard a woman's voice at his grandmother's house in the little bitty camper that he was staying in behind the trailer. So he called the police on us and was trying to have us arrested for trespassing. That's a joke. He was gallivanting around with another person. It had nothing to do with work habits. And then he called them. He said, I don't know that he did. And he hit my mom's car window and screamed and yelled, "She's taking her from me. She's taking her from me," while he's on the phone with the alleged police. I'm not property to be taken from anyone. If I want to leave, I'll leave on my own free will. Nobody's going to take me. And he was yelling to the 911 operator. It didn't look good on him. Anyway, we left and he jumped behind Mom's vehicle. Mom is a better driver than they give her credit for because she didn't run over him. He shouldn't have jumped behind a moving car. Luckily, she was going slow, and she barely tapped his pant leg because he was jumping behind a moving car, not because she was about to run him over. And the truth needs to be told. And I couldn't tell the truth while I was with him because I wouldn't be here today if I had of. And the people I did tell in his family, they blamed me or scapegoated or were his flying monkeys. I had to deal with the flying monkeys too. And anybody who knows NARC terms, that means the people that help them stay in their addiction. The people that, oh, he's a good guy. Oh, he's, he's nice to everybody but you. What's wrong with you? Different things like that. What was wrong with me is I was being abused by your son. You know who you are. And you did not a dang thing about it. Right, Bella? Bella's upset because I'm upset. Come here, Bella. But didn't do a dang thing about it. And she said, if he abused you, Well, guess what, Miss? I'm going to leave your name out for my safety purposes. It not if he abused me. It was he abused me. Period. So when you got people that are thinking that you're the problem, blaming you, and that's what the flying monkeys do. They blame you instead of blaming their own son. That tell them that. Tell them, Bella. Say we're mad. And now I have freedom. Freedom to speak. Freedom to be who I am. Myself. My authentic self. And with that being said, I'm going to get off here and just know that I'm such a better person now. Even though I was a good person then, I'm just a better person now because I don't have all that abuse. And I have people that love and care for me. Just like I had some people that loved and cared for me, but others turned their back on me. And they didn't understand the hell I was going through. And sorry I said the cuss word, but hell. But it was the living hell. One year he picked up a big iron, those wrought iron pot holders, like wrought iron. It holds multiple levels of pots. He picked that up and was getting ready to hit me with it one Christmas, and then he snapped out of it because his eyes and his pupils always dilated when he got angry. And it was scary. He picked up that rack to throw at me, and he realized my daughter was sitting right behind me. He stopped and put it down. God don't have a heart for people like that. I don't care what you see out in public. No, this man is not to be trusted. He is not to be honorable. He is a violent man. I don't trust him as far as I could spit. And that's how upset I am. And that's my truth. And now I'm brave enough to speak. I got tired of the blame. And I got tired of the sleep deprivation I had. And everything that I was going through besides what I had to deal with him. I was going through some other stuff too. I was being attacked by my husband, by people. But that's what they do. They get them to attack you. And they're like, what's wrong with her? No, what's wrong with him? That's the true story. What is wrong with him? Not me. I didn't have a problem with that. Although he tried to put my name in the game, I'm letting you know right now that what he did behind scenes, well, there's no jail big enough for him or fit enough for him, in my opinion. But I had to flee and get out of there myself to protect myself, to stay safe, and to keep him from killing me. And that's my truth. And this is not all the journey you'll be going with me on. So if you get triggered, You again, I said at the last time, if you get triggered, you might not want to see the videos. Sorry about that. But I am who I am. And I'm lucky enough not to have anything like that right now in my life. I am blessed beyond measure. I'm as happy as I could be because now I have my own studio apartment. I have my dog Bella, who loves me and watches after me, don't you, Bella? And she's an emotional support dog because of what all I've been through. Yes, you are. Yeah, I'm talking about Bella. You're a good girl. So I love my dog and I love my friends that come up for me when the rubber meets the road. They're there for me. And I love my friends. And thank you for being there for me. And to the ones who aren't, I know you probably couldn't understand. I don't blame you all. I forgive. I've forgiven him, but it doesn't mean I forgot anything. Although some things were blacked out of my memory for a long time, they're starting to come back in stages. I have complex PTSD. I've been traumatized by more than one event. And now I have to live with that. I have anxiety and I have depression. And I found out that I have mental health needs, but that's partially because of everything I've been through with him. And part of it is my genetics. But I was happy, and I still am happy. It just makes me sad that I have to tell this story to you now, that I'm choosing my story, my life over again. But it has to involve telling you the truth and the story of what I went through. And that's where I'm going to end it today. I hope God keeps you safe, well protected, and that no hands would be laid on you out there, ladies. I pray that you would be protected and safe. And I pray for my daughters that they are protected and safe too. Forever and for always, till the end of time. I love them. And I hope they know it. But there's so much a woman can handle before she breaks. So that's my truth, my story, part of my life. You haven't got the whole picture yet. You will. My mother was writing a book. I don't know how much of it was true or false, or what she thought in her head. But I'll tell you if I think it. And then I'll tell you if it's true. I've got to say bye for now and take care of my baby dog, my Bella. Everybody have a great night. God bless you. And if you chose to take this journey with me, may you learn something from it. Goodbye.